It's been a couple of days since I posted something for my page. Originally, when I created my my YouTube channel, the goal was to actually to motivate women. However, right now the direction has changed. It's pretty much just going to be my channel, and it's my story. Sort of a video diary, if you will. I'm feeling the need to do that because, as I've said on previous videos, I'm plagued with dreams and thoughts and memories of things that happened to me throughout my life that I actually never really dealt with, and now they all coming crashing back at the same time. Why I'm thinking about back on 26th Street when my name was written across the wall in a derogatory way, and I was a teenager then. Why am I thinking about when my now ex husband and his friends thought that it was funny to scare me by having me answer the door and him busted in as a masked man with a gun, scaring me and running me into the kitchen? They thought that was funny. Why my ex husband and his friends, or his brother at the time, thought that it was funny to throw eggs at me on Halloween and, say all kinds of things. And why did they think that it was funny to get with their friends and make up rumors about what I had done? The thing is, I was what most people would call red bone at the time, and well, still am actually. Younger, big boobs, cute by other people's accounts, and from that, I guess I had a lot of haters, and I didn't even know what haters was at the time. I've never hated on anybody. I've never really been jealous of anybody. I didn't have a reason to be, because I always felt that whatever I wanted or anything that anybody else can get, I can get as well. So I didn't, and I still don't. I don't walk in envy or enviness of anybody. But apparently, people were envious of me. I was bullied beyond compare. I ran home from school every day. And see why at 53 am I thinking about all that? I think about all that because in the middle of all of that is my ex's family in some form or fashion involved. Now I sit with a family that I work to have that is so divided because of the spirits that's attached to these individuals. It bothers me on a daily basis, the divide that's between my kids and I. One of my sons told me that the only way that he would have a problem with me, it would have to be something that I said or something that I did. And I highly disagree with that because when you are 2 years old and someone is drilling things in your head to the point where you're crying because certain music plays and you are afraid that your mother's not coming back home because you've been told she's out this fucking the masses, excuse the French, but that's pretty much what it came down to. A 2 year old, that's a bit much. So if you start with a child at 2 years old and you tell them things on a daily basis, eventually that's in their mind. So the least little thing that that individual does is going to show him right. I was kind of watching a movie last night, Redemption of a Dog, and this mother killed the father, and the son was outdone. The mother went and did time, but the son was upset because the mother had taken his father. He felt like his father went and worked every day and came home, and he was the greatest thing since sliced bread. He idolized him, and he did all these things. He thought highly of him. Didn't want to talk to his mother. Just thought she was just the worst. What he did not know is behind the scenes, she was holding her family together. He asked her, "Why didn't you leave?" She said she didn't leave because she was afraid, for one, her kids would get taken into the system. She was also afraid that he would hurt them. All things that I lived with my whole entire life. To end up with children now who hugged me to death all over the kitchen floor. And the accounts of the story differ, but I'm the one who experienced it. I have the one that I had the marks to speak on it. And when I actually talked to him about it at one time, I told him the main reason why I hurt so bad is because I have fibromyalgia. And if anybody has that, they understand how painful that is. So to have someone to do that to you, it kind of, the pain is to the 10th power for him to tell me, I didn't hurt you. I didn't do anything to you. And that kind of opened up my mouth. When I looked at him, I saw his father. When I listen to my kids, I see their father. I hear their father. I hear the stories that he's told throughout the years. I hear the anger in their voices. I hear the frustration in their voices. I hear the not understanding in their voices. Because again, they've never asked me anything. And admittedly, I dealt with all of this through one pill at a time until I was up to 10. And of course, I switched it down with liquor. And I know that it was wrong to do, but in the very beginning of my relationship, when I should have gone, ran far away, originally it started taking, back then, it was Sudafed and Acifed, I believe. Acifed was a pill that was for sinuses, but it had something so powerful in it that it relaxed you. And when I was around him to a degree, I had these anxiety attacks. And everyone said he was crazy. And so I was always afraid to leave or say I didn't want to be there, or I really was. But my anxiety came even before him. But I thought that they would be better with him, but it ended up being the worst. Then as time went on, I was brought to Virginia and pretty much left at home by myself. And, when I finally did start to try to have friends, he would brag about to his friends about I'm home where I'm supposed to be, and then I'm hearing now stories about how he was, at the club and doing this and doing that. And, I remember when I moved to Virginia and I actually finally was able to go to a club, and I was sitting over in the corner and he walked in with this white woman, went up to the bar, and I reference particularly a white woman only to say that the end result of why everything ended with us started with that. It's always been that way. But these are stories that you'll never hear. You only hear about the one friend that I have. And I thank the Lord for him, because without him being a friend to me and talking to me and showing that he cared and showing that I mattered, I wouldn't even be sitting here talking to you. So I ain't mad about that. I'm very happy and appreciative that he was a friend to me and still is to this day. But it still did not negate the fact that mines was out there just doing the most with just doing the most. And I suspect now that's why no pictures circulate online of him. He doesn't like to take pictures and all of that, because it would bring attention to people that have dealt with him. They will know exactly who I'm talking about. When I've shown pictures of him, people will go, "Oh, I know him. He looks familiar," and I'm sure he does. So of course he's not going to show videos or put pictures, or he tells everyone he doesn't have a Facebook page and he doesn't have this and he doesn't have that. Of course, because you don't want other people to be able to say, "Hey, I know who that is. Hey, that's so-and-so." I've had people call my house and tell me, he was here and doing that, all types of things, stuff that I have not shared with other people. But I bet you this, every single thing that this young lady did was out there at the base talking to his friends. His friends heard about it. My children heard about it. The family heard about it. Oh, yes, Liz this, Liz that. I did this, I did that. That's how it's always been. And now it angers me because a person that worked so tirelessly behind the scenes has caused so much divide. It didn't start with him though. He was taught it. He's emulating what he saw. And I was privy to a lot of things that a lot of people were not. And I'll talk about that at another time. But today, this is my video diary, because what I've learned is people really don't matter when they're alive and walking around and breathing and talking. They don't nobody give a damn about you. They really don't. But trust and do believe, if they get the message that you died, oh Lord, the tears are flowing. They taking off work. They booking airplane flights. They getting the family together, figuring out what kind of food you gonna have, so that they could all sit up at the funeral and cry and talk about how much they loved you and how much they missed you and how much they wish you was here. That's bull. Nobody give a damn about you. It's all about what you can do for them. Only thing that happens when you die is the guilt rises up and busts them in their head. So now they gotta act like and show like they really, really cared and like you really, really mattered. Don't nobody care. I used to sit around and watch my ex talk about people like a dog. Some of the same people that's rallying for him right now, that he talked about them like they was cash shit. And the list, like I could go on, to include my kids. But they just, again, me, I've been straight up from the door. Said it, stand by it. Ain't gonna pretend I didn't say it. Ain't gonna pretend I didn't do it. But I promise you, I've heard all the stories. Oh, you should care. Oh, you should this. I don't. Because ain't nobody cared about me. So I'm going to, as I'm sure you could probably hear, yeah, this young lady needs help. Y'all probably do. Needed help for a long time. I've been to every damn type of therapist I could think of for the longest time. Been on every kind of medication. But guess what? The whole time I was going to the people, talking to them, to people who ain't had nothing to do with nothing, sharing a story that only was collecting money from me. Prescribing pills for me. I'm not going to get no more pills. I'm not going to go lay on no more couches. I'm not going to talk to no more strangers. I'm going to sit here and talk to this video camera, and I'm going to post my stuff. And one day when I'm dead and it matters, then when my grandkids and my kids and any other family members who don't know anything about me will sit and be able to listen and realize that, yeah, I know this mother, this friend, this enemy, this stranger, I don't ever want to be in her position, ever. So what I'm not going to do is I'm not going to allow anybody to ever treat me like that. That's what the goal of this is. But at the same time, it's a goal for me to speak my truth in my way, in my time, because I haven't done it for a long, long time. And the anger that I have right now, I should not have. I've been out of this since February the 25th, 2013. But all the stuff that has happened before that date rises up and busts me in my head every day. Even down to that day when I saw a man who act like he can't even walk, put 2 feet in front of the other. I took a cell phone that had all types, I'm sure, perversion on it, because he lost his ever-loving mind trying to get that disc back. And I think back now, I should have actually played it, but did I really want to see what was on it? Absolutely not. So I gave it back to him, which I probably could have kept and would have made all the difference in a divorce and everything else. But you know what? It really wasn't worth it, because that would have been more stuff etched in my mind that I have to remember. And I don't need anything else stuck in my mind about the perversion that was going on right there in front of my face. But I never looked for it, because they say, seek and ye shall find. I wasn't trying to find it, so I never go looking for things that I'm not ready to handle. So I didn't go looking for it. But he knows, and she knows. So this is my story to tell. I'm sorry if you in it and you play a part of it. It's my story to tell. Should have worried about the position you took when you walked into it. But anyway, today, yeah, hostile I sound. But again, this won't matter to anybody. I'm not even telling people the few people I actually told that I did have, I regretted that I did, because I kind of wanted to be lost in plain sight. And when I die, I will definitely make sure that my daughter knows how to access it for anybody that needs to know anything about me. It'll all be here. My words, my time, my way. Have a great day.